we don't just sell a couch or a desk. We can source one couch, one desk if that's what you're needing, but our specialty really is the experience, full white glove experience.
Tulsa Talks is the podcast that is inspiring people to have everyday meaningful conversations to gain perspective and help the world.
You have a staging company
I do.
that sells furniture as well, right?
Yes, I do.
Tell us what the name is.
It's called Set the Stage. It's a luxury furniture brand. We stage homes to help realtors sell their listings, but we primarily sell the furniture as well. So we do luxury floor to ceiling, rugs, decor, lamps, the whole kit and caboodle.
Luxury sounds expensive.
It doesn't have to be. We have all affordabilities. So we have wholesale buying power. So by luxury, I really mean just the brands. The pricing, we get wholesale pricing on, so you save money while getting luxury furniture. But our brands go all the way from Ashley, which is a local brand that people know, all the way up to like Alder and Tweed. We have Four Hands, Bramble, brands you probably haven't heard of because they're national. But yeah, our affordability is all over the spectrum.
Okay. And who is your best customer?
My best customer, I'd say, would be short-term rental clients because they purchase the short-term rental. Most of them live out of state, and they don't want to come here and furniture shop and set it up, and I do all of that for them. So while they're in whatever state they live in, we're communicating via email, Zoom calls, and I curate the furniture for them, but then I also drop ship it and assemble it as well.
And you guys have an interior decorator designer?
We do, yes. We have one on staff and then one that we work with if it's a larger project. So
you guys will put furnishings into a place like digitally or something? How do they see what it's going to look like?
So we build something called vision boards. I have been asked before if we could put furniture inside the rooms digitally, and we tried that. Could have been our software, but it just didn't scale right. You couldn't see the couch. You could just see the color of it and how it fit in the room. Mm-hmm. So we build vision boards that lay out the furniture front facing so you can see what you're getting.
Okay.
And it's a bit of an aesthetic board, if you will, a mood board, vision board, just to kind of give you an idea. The furniture will be what we order, but the decor and the rug and the fake plants just kind of give the vibe of what the room's going to be.
How do you get in touch with those people that are out of state? They're moving here for short term.
So I was a realtor for 11 years. I'm in that world a little bit. So I know which realtors work with short-term rental buyers, especially out of state. So I usually go through the realtor because it also allows them to be full service. Not only did they help them find the Airbnb to buy, they helped them usually find the contractor to work on it if they're doing renovations. And then they go one step further and they also source the furniture and design.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these people might or might not be moving here. They might be investors?
Correct. Yeah. We can also do furnishing for people that are moving from out of state and leaving everything behind. And so they want to furnish space when they move here. We do that as well. That's a little bit trickier because they have some pieces they're usually bringing, and we have to tailor around that. Most people want to shop themselves for the furniture.
In their private homes?
Yeah, yes. We can do it. If anybody ever is kind of hands off and just says, just furnish the place, I'll be there in a month, that's when we come in and we can do that. But we have so many pieces and so many vendors that sometimes there's a little bit of a decision paralysis. So if you get that, that's where we come in and we can help tremendously.
It is amazing to me how that decision-making paralysis can occur. We were in the construction business, and we limited the choices for our customer after we listened to them.
Yes.
We found their vibe, their feel, their intended use for the space, and then we designed for that in mind and gave them a couple of, maybe 3 options
Yep.
to just make it simple. And that was a lesson that I had to learn. I have a design mind because I've been around construction and design all my life. And other people haven't.
Right. Yeah.
Bring me into their realm of whatever they do, and they would probably stall my brain as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a pretty big piece of our brand awareness that we're trying to get out there. Because in Tulsa, there's a couple furniture stores, but there's very few tailored furniture experiences, and that's really what we do. We don't just sell a couch or a desk. We can source one couch, one desk if that's what you're needing, but our specialty really is the experience, full white glove experience.
So are you guys somewhat going head to head, or maybe your peer people, companies are designers?
I actually have reached out to local interior designers to source their furniture, so I want to work with them. We don't have to design the space to be able to be a vendor partner with these people. Most interior designers, if they have wholesale buying power, it's with one brand, and we have it with over 40. With everything, we're not just limited to Ashley or Mathis. We have an endless supply of quality, colors, and styles. So I want to source furniture for the interior designers and work alongside them.
How long have you been in this business?
I purchased the Tulsa territory of this franchise in February of this year.
And how big of a region do you get with that Tulsa franchise?
It's up to you. I purchased quite a bit so I could have the entire Tulsa area. It goes all the way to Skiatook. It's almost to Bartlesville, I believe. Bixby, Broken Arrow. I've got the whole area.
Tulsa Metro plus north to Bartlesville. And down south, halfway between Tulsa and Oklahoma City?
Not quite that far south, but close enough, because it's a lot of, between the southern part of Tulsa and the northern part of Oklahoma City, it's a lot of land.
Yeah, very rural.
Yep, so we stopped at Tulsa. But that's just my marketing territory. It's not my operating territory. So if anybody calls from literally anywhere in the country and says, I want you to furnish my short-term rental, I can do it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just can't market to those territories because there's other owners.
Yeah. Friends and family are welcome.
Yes. And we have a partnership, too. I'm actually partnering with the owners out of Northwest Arkansas. They own the Rogers, Bentonville, Fayetteville territory area. And they haven't received their furniture yet. They haven't actually launched yet. They just purchased the franchise. Well, they get a phone call from somebody who needs a very large short-term rental on the lake furnished, and they called me. So we're working together to get that done for their client. So,
Wow.
Yeah. Teamwork.
Yeah. Businesses don't have to fight.
Yeah. Well, we're all working together. All ships rise with the tide. We're all working together to build this brand into what it should be and get the notoriety out there. So we don't want to fight with each other. There's another group in Branson that I talk to almost daily that we work with. So, yeah, they're all over the place.
How does that relationship help you guys, you and the people in Branson?
Sharing ideas is a big one since we're in very similar markets. They have a tourism that I don't have. But other than that, we have the same, very similar housing markets and things like that being so close to each other. So we'll bounce ideas off of each other for marketing ideas. And if I find something with a furniture vendor that I think would help them, I'll call them, hey, check out this, bedroom set, whatever. So,
What does the buying experience look like? What is the process with your company? If I called you and said, hey, Jessica, I am buying this house. I want it taken care of. What are the options for me at that point?
We start with a budget. That really depends on the budget. And I always have them, I had someone recently ask me, how much am I looking at to furnish the whole space? And I said, well, I can do, when you give me the number, I can tell you what you'll get for that. You're either going to get really high-end furniture, or you're going to get more of the affordable furniture. So it just kind of depends on what quality you're looking for.
I have no idea what it costs to furnish a house.
Yeah.
Can you give me a from to number?
So I have furniture packages.
I'm talking about if I gave you a house and I said we have 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, an outdoor patio. I want it just taken care of. It's dry, bare bone structure right now, and I want it nice. Don't know what that should cost me because I have no idea what you do. Can you give somebody like that a from to type price?
A range. We can do a range. For something like that, I would give them a range of anywhere between $40,000 and $70,000. It just depends, like I said, on, you said patio. That would be part of I have a lot of a la carte questions. Is there an office? Is there a dining room? Or is it a dining space? Patio, how big is the patio? What do you want on the patio? Front patio, back patio. So there's a lot of a la carte questions to kind of curate that range, but it's anywhere between, for a full home, $40,000 to $75,000, and that's silverware sitting on the table when you get there. I mean, you could just move in. All you need to bring is your clothes.
Why did you go into this business?
Well, it was very closely related to real estate, and that's what I know. Flipping, sales, new construction, apartments. I've done a lot of real estate work, and my favorite thing that I did was be a realtor. I really enjoyed working with clients and helping people purchase and then take care of the largest asset they're probably ever going to own. But I had a lot of trouble with how oversaturated the realtor market is in Tulsa. I'm not a cutthroat competitive person, so that hurt me a lot in that industry. When I found this franchise after shopping for over a year, I interviewed a lot of franchises. This one, I saw the potential to work alongside those realtors now instead of kind of competing against them. So that was my favorite part. That was what really sold me on this franchise.
What are the drawbacks of being very aggressive, assertive in an industry, of being, quote, cutthroat? Why not do that?
It just wasn't, it's not part of my personality. I'm just not a really cutthroat person. I would much rather be friendly and make friendships with people and have it be a fun experience. I don't get joy out of, I fought hard for that and I got it. Let me clarify that. I like fighting for myself. I like having to pitch myself and give presentations and make sure that they're, done well, and fighting with myself, basically. I don't like to arm wrestle other people and go, yay, I won,
Yeah.
I'd much rather it be you call me because you want to be with me and work with me, not because I said something a little bit better than the other 20 realtors you're talking to. So
It's amazing how many realtors there are in Tulsa. Some of them have their realtor license and don't sell a house.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It ranges greatly.
Mm-hmm. It does. And I also, I got licensed at 23, 24, and I got asked a lot, how old are you? How old are you? How old are you? And that got really tiring because I was like, I'm young, but that shows that I'm being a realtor because I want to. I didn't do it because I, am bored or, anything like that. I did it because I love it. I love real estate. So getting to carry that passion for the business or for the industry into my business now is just, it's great.
What does a typical day look like in Jessica's life with this business?
That changes every day. So yesterday, Mondays are usually the marketing days, and I meet with my office manager at the warehouse, and we start getting together our marketing plan for the month. But today I met with a vendor relation I have called Alchemy Exteriors. He does luxury pools and landscaping. And beautiful stuff too. So we got to tour one of the pools today. I say pools, tour the backyard today because he did every square inch of this backyard. And the client wants me to provide patio furniture now that the pool's done and the landscaping's done. So we were walking around that, kind of getting an idea for the furniture that we're going to put out there. Friday, I'm going to drive out to Grove to do a short-term rental on the lake. So it's all, sometimes it's traveling, sometimes it's a lot of computer work. Just kind of depends on the day.
What kind of computer work?
Admin stuff, being the business owner and the only full-time employee that I have, a lot of administrative stuff, social media and things like that.
Yeah. Why be in your own business?
I was raised by an entrepreneur, and I have been an entrepreneur since I was 19. So it's all I know. I never complained about the amount of hours I worked in corporate jobs. I complained about the micromanaging. I complained about how much I brought to the table, but it wasn't given back. There's something kind of irritating about having to ask someone if I'm allowed to go on vacation. Things like that. So that all goes away when I own the business. It's stressful, but...
How many hours do you typically work a week being your own small business owner?
Minimum of 40. There's some weeks where, there was one week where I had a couple realtor partners call me last second for a stage, which pressed a lot of destaging and restaging into 1 week. That was a much longer week. That was more of a 60-hour work week. But I loved it.
Does your brain turn off?
Yes, it does.
You're able to do that?
Yes, it's usually with a television show. I have to drown into the television show. But yeah, my wheels are always turning for the most part. Oh. So.
Would it not be easier sometimes to work for somebody else?
Depends on what you define as easy. I'm going to sneeze. I'll sneeze on the microphone. Depends on how you define easy. So some people, it's easy to be told where to go, what time to be there, and when to go home. I feel very claustrophobic in situations like that. I like having the freedom to, if I show up to work and I get everything done by 2, I can leave. At a 9-to-5 job, you can't. They want to pay you to keep the chair warm and play on your phone. So I appreciate the freedom. It's easier for me to have the freedom than it is to have a structured when to show up and how much you're making.
But you have to be your own motivator, and you have to
Mm-hmm.
set your own hours, and you have to think about what there is to do when you own your own small business.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But it gives me the ability to get the gears that are turning all the time on paper, get it down out of my brain. No matter where I have worked in the past, being a W-2 employee, I've always treated the business like I owned it. I just can't help it. And that is just not given back. I mean, no one treats me, my boss doesn't treat me like their daughter, So it was very uneven in how I was handling my job and what was being given back to me. So I appreciate needing to do all those things. I don't take it for granted that I get to own a business.
Do you plan to have full-time employees, maybe a few or many?
Ideally, yes. For sure, one. I definitely need a business manager at some point. But my long-term goal is to have a manageable team, whatever that looks like. If my team only needs 2 people to keep moving on down the road, then great. But if it ends up turning into like a 10-person business, then that's fine too.
How would you go about treating your people differently than what you were treated in the past? How would you help them gain ownership, I suppose, and feel appreciated for that? So
I read a book when I first started this franchise adventure over a year ago called Who Not How. And when you're given as a visionary, which most entrepreneurs are, when you have a vision for something and you have a goal and an idea, too many people say, how in the world am I going to do that? And instead flipping that into who do I know that can do that? It makes you more grateful for the people, first of all. You no longer look at office managers as gophers or low on the totem pole. There is no totem pole because they're providing a service to you that you can't do. and your whole business would be in trouble if they weren't there doing it. So understanding that appreciation for each individual that works for you changes everything. And I think that that trickles down and they'll feel it. Just with the appreciation, saying thank you goes a long way. And there's a lot of corporate people that don't say that.
How do you find the who's?
Trial and error. I love psychology. I always have. So there's a little bit of a people reading skill that I bring to the table. But sometimes you're wrong, and so you hire them, and it doesn't go well, and you have to go separate ways. But tailoring, remembering what that ended up being as an employee, a certain idea that they have, or a sense of humor that they have, and thinking, okay, that's different, but we might be able to work with it. You get them into the office, the relationship goes south. You kind of come back and go, okay, maybe that's not what I'm looking for. So it's trial and error, but.
Does your franchise help you with knowing the who's?
Yes.
Fit where?
Yes, they have quite the operation. They're based out of Utah. So when I got to go out to Utah and watch them for a week and kind of shadow them, if you will, they have a massive operation going on. So there's a lot of employees, plus the headquarters being the franchise central. So they're not only running a Set the Stage in Utah, they have their own franchise up. They're franchised out. So they're managing all these franchise owners. It's a little bit of a ground level franchise as well. So they're making tweaks as they go too. So we're all kind of learning together, which is, I think, really fun. Again, that opens the door for creativity and growth. But yeah, they have quite the staff up there.
And they help you know what personalities fit in what positions?
Mm-hmm. Yes. When I was there for the week, as I was meeting their employees, I was also paying attention to how they carried themselves and their demeanor, and all were very similar. It was a very similar trend of being capable of delivering the white glove experience requires a level of soft personalities, not the loudest person in the room, not the most bold person in the room, but more of I don't know how to explain it. Timid is a bad word, but more of the
soft
mellow,
and engaging.
Yeah, laid back. So, because you will get all kinds of clients in the furniture world. You get some people that say, do the whole house, make it green. I don't care. Go for it. And then you have some people that are choosing one bed. All they're doing is a bed. And every bed you send them is not good enough. None of it's good enough. So you have to be able to go with both of those, personalities.
Why buy into a franchise instead of start your own? Because you did look at multiple franchises.
I did.
And it wasn't just about Set the Stage.
Mm-mm.
It was kind of a broad horizon of, I want to own a franchise because, and let me look at all of the different options that are out there. Is that right?
Yes. So I had a relationship with a franchise broker. And I had told him, I'm doing a potentially hard left turn here. I want to buy a franchise that will set me up to be able to have a manageable team down the road. That's my retirement plan. I don't want to be the one working the franchise or working the business until I die. I want to be able to pass it to someone else for management. So my cast net was huge. And he was like, do you want to do any of your hobbies? Which my hobbies are traveling and cooking. And the answer was no. I don't want to own a restaurant. I don't want to own a catering company because I will have to be the one cooking it or it won't work, Travel agencies, I've looked into that. The licensing is out of control. So many licenses you have to keep up with. I don't want to do that. So my two hobbies are out. I know real estate, but I don't want to own a property management company again. I've been there, done that. So anyway, it was very tough for my broker to figure out what franchises to send me, but he just kind of went all over the board. He's like, here's a health facility. Here's a window washing company. I've interviewed tons of them. And I started learning, if you're not buying a Chick-fil-A franchise, you are not buying brand notoriety, which is kind of what I had in my mind. You are buying processes and procedures that are proven methods of success, and these people know what they're doing. They've done it so well in their place that now they're branching out and other people are doing it in their places. So there were some franchises that didn't have that. The window washing company. There's no process and procedure. You wash the window. The end, you know. So
I had a lady in here that has a residential cleaning service, and she's systemized it where she has one person go into a house so that if she has two, they'll slow each other down, and she has top right, bottom left process that she has it systemized.
wow.
And it doesn't seem like there's much to anything until you get into the details.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that she charges the same, but they run at about a 40% more efficient rate than normal, and she pays her people 20% more.
Yes.
Is her business model.
Good for her. Good for her.
But
When the company is succeeding because the employees are doing their job, reward them. Absolutely.
yes, yeah, we ran that same model. We gamified our business when we were in the construction realm.
Mm.
This is our goal. This is what we've done historically. Let's see if we can operate at that level. If we exceed it, and it's right. I mean, it's got to be done above industry standards.
Mm-hmm.
Then everybody got some bonus
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun to see how much we could achieve together.
Yes. Yeah.
But structures, policies, procedures, ways of doing business is why you wanted to own or buy into a franchise, so you didn't have to reinvent the wheel.
Correct. Yeah.
And you wanted to be able to have a management team in there to be able to fulfill it on after you're not here,
Right.
possibly,
Right.
so that you could potentially sell it at one time.
Yes. I haven't even been open a year yet, so the thought of selling it, I'm like, no, never. I would never. But I don't know what the future holds. I mean, some people will buy franchises to get them up and running and then sell them and then do it again with another franchise. Just bringing franchises into Tulsa that belong here, that need to be here. There's some really fun ones. They're usually food and beverage industry, but there's some really fun franchises out there. So I don't know. I doubt it. I don't think I'll ever sell this company.
They say restaurants, or I've been told, and it's been quite a while ago, that restaurants are the number one business to go out of business.
Yep. Yep. It's a lot of overhead. A lot. And when you think about a $20 hamburger, I mean, what's the first thing you think of? So expensive, so expensive, people won't pay it.
Well, not only that, think about the low ticket price.
Mm-hmm.
How many of those do you have to sell from a business owner standpoint to be able to keep the lights on?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't sell one of those a day.
Right.
You would probably be doing, I don't know about your business because I haven't asked this question, but I would think that if you had a new customer sell every day with what you do, you'd probably be doing okay.
I'd be doing very well, yeah. If I did furniture sales every day.
Yeah, one house a day would probably be good.
That'd be a lot, depending on the furnishing.
Mm-hmm.
If they're wanting a couch, a couch a day is not a big deal. But if doing the full floor to ceiling white glove experience, yes. If I was getting one a day, that'd be a lot.
Yeah, compared to one hamburger a day.
Right, yeah.
But you bought a franchise. You were intentional about buying a franchise, so you didn't have to reinvent the wheel.
Yes, I'm willing to reinvent the wheel. That was also something that I was learning as I was interviewing the franchises is none of your names are known here. So I'm not buying Chick-fil-A. I can't just drop this somewhere and it succeed because it's Chick-fil-A. I'm getting in on these ground level franchises, so I'm going to be building it. So you're
going to be building the brand.
Yeah, building the business that you made
Right.
person in Utah.
Yeah.
So, but I will be solely responsible. Nobody at headquarters is going to fly to Tulsa and live here for a year and build the brand name, right? I will be the only one doing it. So what is the franchise purchase going to give me in lieu of a recognized brand? And Set the Stage was the one that it was a lot. First of all, furniture. I get 5 homes of furniture just right off the bat. But then so much help. I mean, I took a aerial video of my warehouse and I sent it to headquarters and they designed the entire layout of the warehouse for me. I did not have to do it. Trust us, you'll want to put this near the door, the bay door, because they're hard to maneuver around a warehouse. So put your mattresses, things like that I would not have thought of. So that's why I jumped in.
So not only did you have a procedures manual, they also gave you insight into how to even set up your warehouse.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And my warehouse was a little bit different because there were offices in it, and that's not required. So they usually get franchise owners that don't have offices. So they had to kind of move some things around, and I have my wall art is in one of my offices, which isn't normal. So anyway, they worked with me and they got it all tailored and laid out for me, and I just had to build the shelves.
So you have this great process. You help people through realtors a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
You also do direct sales and white glove experience for individuals.
Mm-hmm.
But your main business, the majority of the business that you receive comes through referrals.
Yes, word of mouth is big. Yes. And vendor relations. So there's a lot of different avenues that I can create vendor partner relationships with. Like I mentioned earlier, the landscape artist, Alchemy Exteriors, is a great example. He comes in and does huge landscaping projects. And he pays attention to every detail. So having to then pivot and do their furniture is just not something he wants to do. He doesn't have the time for it. He's on to the next backyard, right? So that's where he can call me and say, this client is ready to talk about furniture, click, and he's done with it. Now I come in and tailor the entire furniture experience for them. So we continue the white glove experience, and it's under his name, makes him look good, which is fine with me. I've always said I don't need them to know Set the Stage. I just want to be part of the process. So interior designers are that way. Back patio, like the pergola
Outdoor
guys.
kitchen areas,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Yep, we have indoor movie theaters. We have really nice theater seating in our inventory, so I can help just about anybody. Restaurants. So.
Tell us one more success story that you've had. Have you had anybody that was having a hard time selling a house that you staged the house?
Yes, my favorite story. It was actually my very first stage, which was wild. But I get a phone call from a woman around 9 a.m. on a Monday, and she says, "Can you be here at noon? I really need your help." She was actually the seller. She was a flipper. So that was one of the times that I didn't go through a realtor. The seller called me directly. But yeah, I got dressed and ran out there and met her at noon, quoted her for the staging, which she had said she wants every room staged. So I was prepared to tell her, you don't have to stage every room. Staging doesn't need every room. If you want to, I can, but you don't need it. So I get out there and I realize why she wanted every room staged. It was essentially a 2-story duplex. If a duplex is side by side, this was top and bottom. And you walk in on the second floor and there's kitchen, living, dining, 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, and an office, a very, very small office. You go downstairs and that is repeated again. Kitchen, living, dining, the whole 9, not the office, but everything else. And I thought, oh, this is why you need every room staged. This is a maze of boxes, just square empty rooms everywhere. People aren't seeing a flow, so let's give it a flow. And she was getting quoted for double stage because it was essentially 2 homes in one. I, being a small business owner, can tailor and help people save money where they need to save money. So I offered her a lower price. We got the job, and she said, how quickly can you do it? My realtor's doing an open house on Saturday. I was like, oh, Wednesday? I could do it Wednesday. And we were closing that door and locking it at 5 o'clock on Thursday. We were done. And it was a beautiful stage. She got cream of the crop because she was my first stage. So I had all my inventory to pull from. We put some really nice stuff in there, made the layout make sense. She had the open house on Saturday, and they had a full contract, or full asking contract, on Sunday. We sold it in just a couple of days.
So that goes back to the most people don't have the eye for how structures are. Most people don't have an eye for exactly what piece of furniture goes where.
Mm-hmm.
And you can overwhelm them, or
Mm-hmm.
you can simplify it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's why our favorite jobs are the ones where they're like, we don't have time. You go for it. We like modern. We like the color green. Have at it. So that's where we really thrive and shine.
And you guys keep some inventory in a warehouse,
Mm-hmm.
so you can potentially do things faster
Mm-hmm.
than some other companies.
Yes. Yes. So we're actually in a position right now where we're going to start adding to our inventory because we pride ourselves on the last second stages. We can do last second. Like I told you that one week where I had to destage that double house. I had to destage it because it sold and restage 3 others, all in 1 week. So the destage is essentially 2 full homes worth of furniture, restaging 3 homes, Bartlesville, Bixby, and Sand Springs, all over my territory.
Yeah.
My movers, poor guys, they were tired of driving that day. Yeah, so getting to help people last second. I move very quickly with my crew. We're running out of inventory, so we're having to add more to our warehouse now. But yeah, we keep full stages in our warehouse so we can do last second things for realtors.
For staging a house, does it take complete furnishings to be able to get the vibe, to be able to sell a house? Do you need to have all of the furniture and all of the furnishings in it? Or what level do most realtors go to?
We do full stages. Someone could move in. I say that. We don't always have televisions and stuff. We don't do a lot of appliances, but we do enough furniture that it looks lived in. It just looks like they're really clean people. But yeah, we do the full experience. We have soap dispensers on the sinks and everything.
I suppose that's just like anything else. It varies with how big and how nice you want the furnishings.
Mm-hmm.
How big the house is
Mm-hmm.
and how nice you want the furnishings.
Yes. How big the house is, it makes a huge difference because I can't bring a king bed into a 10 by 10 room without it swallowing the
Mm-hmm.
room.
Mm-hmm.
And now I made your rooms look smaller. So we have to do it very carefully sometimes. If we're assisting a property to make it look better, it's a very careful experience. We have to be very attention to detail, or we can do the opposite. So that's really important for us to make sure that people know staging is not staging is not staging. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know how to curate a space and how to fill a space to show the potential, because you also don't want to stick a twin bed in there because then people will go, oh, I don't even own a twin bed. Show the potential, get a queen in there. You know what I'm saying? So get a queen and a dresser, show them that this is how the room would look with this size furniture in it, which is another thing about virtual staging. That was a concern when we started looking at this franchise, was how many people do virtual staging? And to be honest, if they do it one time. They don't ever do it again. Because you do not want your clients, as a realtor, you do not want your clients opening that front door and the first thing they think is, oh, darn, none of it's here. I was looking online and I liked the pictures, and then I opened the front door and I'm disappointed. So we help alleviate that.
What does it cost? What's a cost range for staging a house?
Our packages start at $2,500. That's for 60 days. We also require a 50% deposit up front, and we have a partnership with a company that will float that for you until closing. So if your credit score qualifies, you're out no money for the staging until you close, and then you pay it out of the proceeds. But yes, our packages start at $2,500. We have savings opportunities. If you follow us on Instagram, you'll see at the beginning of every month we post our D-stage calendar. And if you pair a stage with a D-stage, and that furniture doesn't have to come back to my warehouse, you save a little bit of money. So
The win-win model.
Yep, we pass the savings along to you. So
What is one takeaway that you would like people to have from this conversation?
I need to find a quicker way to say this, but the fact that we can help anybody. We really can help anybody. We're not just Mathis Brothers selling furniture for you to put in your living room. We're an experience. Whatever you're needing help with as far as interior furnishings, decor, anything, we're there. We can help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are here to help you discover or develop your passions, how you can use them, and why you exist. How can we help you help others better?